Hello again, and welcome back to Profit and Sense. Today we're looking at one of the most famous personal finance books of all time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You've probably heard the name, but what exactly is the book about? And why has it sold over 40 million copies worldwide? Let's break it down in plain English. No jargon, no fluff. The book is framed around Robert's experience growing up with two father figures. One is his biological father, the poor dad, who was well-educated, worked a steady government job, and believed in job security. The other is his friend's father, the rich dad, who was a self-made businessman and investor. Both dads gave him advice about money, but that advice couldn't have been more different. Poor dad believed in the traditional path. Do well in school, get a good job, work hard, save money, and retire comfortably. Rich dad had a different take. Learn how money works, build assets, take risks, and make your money work for you. The entire book is built around comparing these two mindsets. One of the most famous lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the idea of assets versus liabilities. Kiyosaki says rich people focus on buying assets, things that put money in your pocket. Poor people in the middle class often spend their lives buying liabilities, things that take money out. An asset could be something like a rental property, a business, dividend-paying stocks, anything that generates income. Liability, even if it looks like an asset, is something that costs you. For example, your house might go up in value. But if it's not generating income and it's costing you in mortgage payments, maintenance and taxes, Kiyosaki considers it a liability. This idea is simple but powerful, and it's changed how millions of people think about their finances. Another major lesson is that the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. Most people trade time for money, working jobs, and earning a salary. But the rich invest in things that continue to earn money, whether they're working or not. In other words, passive income. It could be rental income, royalties, dividends, or business profits. Kiyosaki argues that relying only on earned income, i.e. your salary, keeps you stuck in what he calls the rat race, working to pay bills, then repeating the cycle forever. The book also stresses the importance of financial education, not just earning more, but knowing how to manage money. Reduce taxes, invest wisely, and spot opportunities. He says schools teach you how to be an employee, not how to build wealth. You learn algebra and history, but not how to budget, invest, or understand debt. One super important point is about taking smart risks. Rich Dad really believes in learning through experience and not letting the fear of failing hold you back. Poor Dad, on the other hand, feared taking financial risks. Kiyosaki believes the fear of making mistakes keeps people from ever building wealth. He also talks about entrepreneurship. Starting a business, even a small one, can be a path to independence and wealth. Rich Dad sees owning systems and being in control of your time as more valuable than a steady job. Now, the book isn't perfect. Critics argue that Kiyosaki oversimplifies things and doesn't always offer clear, practical steps. He sometimes tells stories more than strategies. And some people say the advice isn't applicable to everyone, especially if you don't have the resources to invest right away. But even critics agree, the book succeeds at shifting your mindset. It's not a get-rich-quick manual. It's a way to start thinking differently about work, money, and opportunity. And that's the key takeaway. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is really about mindset. It challenges traditional beliefs and asks you to rethink what you've been taught about money. It encourages you to look at how you spend, how you earn, and what kind of future you're building for yourself. You don't have to follow every idea in the book, but understanding the difference between working for money and making money work for you can change how you see your career, your investments, and your financial future. That's it for this summary of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you found this helpful, give the video a like and share it with someone who is trying to get smarter about money. And remember, subscribe to Profit and Sense for more clear, no-nonsense explainers on business, finance, and how money really works. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.